New York Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau, and now everybody's talking about the Jason Kidd possibility. Windhorst mentioned on ESPN this week how the Knicks and Jason Kidd have mutual interests. What are your general thoughts on that? With Kidd looking to bounce from Dallas possibly, and the Knicks seemingly targeting Jason Kidd.
So I talked about this a little bit on my show this week. It's fascinating how this is all playing out. For starters, you and I are on different sides, I think, of the Tom Thibodeau firing. But I think we can now agree that they fired him without a plan in place to replace him.
Like, we can agree about that for sure.
Like I know some people were like, oh, no, they fired him and there's somebody else waiting in the wings. There's not, right? Like, if they're kicking the tires on Jason Kidd, that just means that somebody, whether it's James Dolan, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, any of the other guys that have gotten that front office, they didn't want Tom Thibodeau around anymore. The Kidd stuff is fascinating because as we sit here taping this on Monday afternoon, I have no idea why Dallas isn't nipping this in the bud right away. Like, Dallas could quickly just come out and be like, Jason Kidd's our coach. We're not interested in granting anybody permission for anything. You don't have to, you can release a statement. That would be one way to do it. Or you can just leak it to Tim McMahon or any other Dallas area guys down there. And that's the end of it. But they haven't. And we're on like day 3 or 4 of Jason Kidd watch down in Dallas since this became a national news story. And the Mavericks are just letting this thing kind of sit out there, which tells me that where there's smoke, there's fire in some of this. But I don't get it, Kevin, because Jason Kidd is uniquely qualified to coach that team. He has the relationship with Anthony Davis that most recently dates back to the Lakers days. Part of the revival of Kyrie Irving has been playing for Jason Kidd, who we grew up watching in Jersey and, has a kindred spirit for like the first time as his head coach. He is uniquely qualified to coach that team. If they let Jason Kidd go, they're in the same position the Knicks are right now, where they're looking around, looking for a veteran coach that can coach a championship caliber team. And as the Knicks have learned, there aren't a lot of those guys out there. I mean, before Chauncey Billups signed his extension, I thought, well, maybe that might be a good guy you could try to lure down to Dallas. That could have made some sense. Everybody wants a piece of Ime Udoka. The only team that's operating like a normal team is the Houston Rockets, which are like, we're not giving you Ime Udoka. Like, look at what Ime has done in 2 short years here. I mean, he should be bleeding Houston colors for the rest of his professional basketball life. Beyond that, like, what are you going to do? You're not going to, like, elevate one of your assistants to coach that team. Are you going to go back down the rabbit hole of the Budenholzers and the Vogels and these coaches that have been around for a while? Like, why would you do it? So to take it one step further, the only rational explanation I can see for the Mavericks entertaining this and potentially doing it is if they do it, they would then blow the whole thing up. That would be the signal that they would say, all right, we're going to trade AD and get whatever we can get back in return for him. Kyrie, probably no market out there for him given the injury, but we won't give him an extension. If he opts in, fine, have a nice vacation. You'll pay you $40 million to rehabilitate over the course of a year. And we're now Cooper Flagg's Dallas Mavericks. That's who we are. In a way, it's kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card for the Mavs because I think you and I agree Cooper is going to be awesome. I think Cooper is legit. Like, I spent a lot of time with him over the last couple of weeks working on a story and just talking to people about him, being around him. I think the sky really is the limit for that kid. So that to me is the only thing that makes sense. Only reason why the Mavericks would be entertaining the idea of letting Jason Kidd go, because if you do, this isn't plug and play at that coaching spot. Like, as much as I love some of the guys on the Mavericks bench, I don't think they'd even...
Sean Sweeney interviewed for the Phoenix Suns job. A guy like that seems like a future head coach. But
Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley's a brilliant...
Dudley. Yep. Interviewing in Memphis, right? I think as well.
There's lots of great future head coaches there, but for this team specifically,
yes,
with AD and with Kyrie, like, I think they'd probably tell you they're probably not the best fits to take over a team like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you have a different perspective here, but I don't get it. I don't get why Dallas isn't just stomping out this rumor as fast as they can, unless they're considering it and they have an alternate plan in place that we don't know about yet.
I mean, look, I think you and I are thinking along the same lines here. It doesn't make sense to just not end this conversation now, like Houston has with Ime Udoka. That's for sure. If you're not doing it, either you believe, Sean Sweeney or Jared Dudley, whoever will be a better head coach than Jason Kidd. That you may feel that. It may be as simple as that. But the other side of it is this. Do you really want to take the two timelines approach where you have Nico Harrison talking about we're going to be in championship contention, AD, Kyrie Irving, we're going to be contending for a title next year, and then you add a rookie, Cooper Flagg, as amazing as I think he will be. It is so rare that rookie players are high-level contributors deep in the postseason. So does Cooper help you win the finals in 2026 and in 2027? Not as much as a veteran player would, not as much as having a veteran coach would. So if you're bringing in a young coach, if you're bringing in a rookie player, to your point, it would only make sense that you're open to trading those veteran guys, 80 included, Kyrie once he's back, and then making it Cooper Flagg's team. And to me, that's why I argued months ago for just fire Nico and have a clean slate. Like if you're that Mavericks ownership, you realize, okay, we've lost the fan base. The only way for us to get over this is to eliminate the reminders of our past. And one of the ways you do that is just make it a Cooper Flagg team. Just make it a Cooper Flagg team. No more AD, no more Kyrie, a nice, young, fun roster that fans can latch on to and feel hope for the future about, rather than a team that, let's be honest, AD and Kyrie, as great as they are and as good as some of the role players are on that team, I still wouldn't put them in the upper echelon of the West. And the health of those guys is an obvious concern as well, the durability of those guys at their age. So I think for Dallas, you might be onto something there, Chris, that maybe in what it looks like a buyer's market with teams looking to push, looking to go all in, maybe you become one of the sellers and you get a haul for one of those guys or multiple of those guys and just have a Cooper Flagg-led roster.
Yeah, I don't think they can win next year for the reasons you laid out there. Cooper's too young to be championship level impact. Kyrie, whenever he comes back, it's going to take him some time to become Kyrie again. Where they can make their money is in that 26-27 season. Assuming AD is still AD, Kyrie is still Kyrie. I really believe Cooper Flagg in year 2 is going to take off. I think he's an all-star consideration in year 2, and I think we're talking all NBA in year 3. I think we're having that conversation about Cooper Flagg. So I think year 2, with maintain the continuity, that's where you have your chances to win. It's just remarkable to me that they've allowed the New York Knicks to screw them up like this, to let this become a thing that they are not stepping on right away. Something else that was brought to me by somebody around the league made a note of who the owners are in this. Like, James Dolan is a New York guy, right? Like, he's MSG, the Knicks, the Rangers. He's also a Vegas guy. Owns the Sphere, owns restaurants out in Vegas. The Dumont family, the Adelson family, they're Vegas people too. Now, I don't know if there's I don't know what the interconnections are. Somebody was saying to me that some of Dolan's restaurants have been in some of these Sands properties in the past or whatever it is. But there is a certain chumminess to Vegas people. There's a certain, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So this could wind up being like an ownership call where Dumont and Dolan come to some kind of agreement where draft consideration goes Dallas's way and some money and whatever to send Jason Kidd out there. But it would be nuts. Like, my opinion, keep Jason Kidd exactly where he is. Give him a 1-year extension or whatever to sweeten the pot. That's the thing with Jason. Like, I don't think Jason's looking for a way out of Dallas. This isn't Brooklyn 2.0, where he was looking to get out of Brooklyn to go to Milwaukee.
Yes, he was traded once before. He's been involved in a trade before.
I think he sees what we see with this team, and he can see a pathway to winning a championship, which is ultimately what he wants. He wants to be a championship head coach. The second part of it is he wants to get paid. And Jason Kidd undoubtedly is looking at the New York Knicks, where he interviewed 5 years ago, knowing that if they're willing to walk away from $30 million over 3 years from Tom Thibodeau, they'll pay me 40, 50 over 5 years, maybe more, to coach that team on a new contract. So I don't think Kidd's going to try to bully his way out of there, but I think Kidd probably sees this as an opportunity either to wind up in a new situation in the Eastern Conference or to get paid more money with the Dallas Mavericks. It's really all upside here for Jason Kidd.
Is Kidd the right target for the Knicks?
I don't even know. I mean, that's the other part of it. Like, I think Jason's a good coach. Maybe he takes his entire staff to New York with him. Is he better than Tom Thibodeau? I don't know. I mean, he did a good job in leading the Mavericks to the finals a couple of years ago. I think he's a lot better coach in Dallas than he was in Milwaukee, and a lot better coach in Milwaukee than he was in Brooklyn. So there's growth there in my mind from Jason Kidd. But
you weren't a fan of the water trick on the sideline?
No. It was not that wasn't big. But I think he's a good coach, and I think he has the potential to keep getting better as a coach. But the Knicks, the bar has been set. Like, you've got to get to Game 6 of the conference finals, or else it's a failure. You've got to beat a juggernaut like the Celtics, or else it's a failure. It ramps up the pressure, no doubt about it, from Jason Kidd. But I'm sure he's looking at the West going, all right, I've got a better team in 2 years in Dallas in the Western Conference, but I've also got to compete in the Western Conference. In New York, I've got an easier path, but I've got a team that probably has a lower ceiling than the one I'm coaching right now. So I don't know. I think Jason's honestly probably sitting back and just kind of enjoying a lot of this. Like, he didn't instigate this. Like, this is coming out of New York, where they're saying, we want to, talk to, or however they're framing it. I love the due diligence part. That's another side of this. Like, doing due diligence on Jason Kidd. Like, come on. You either want him or you don't. It's just kind of as simple as that. So I think Jason's kind of probably enjoying some of this, knowing that he's going to come out better for it on the other side, one way or the other.